The essence of making this video is not to look down on people doing honest jobs, but to enlighten you that there are jobs you should never call a career or jobs you should do for a very long time, thinking you have something you could call a profession. I'm just doing this job in order not to sit at home doing nothing. This is the statement of people doing menial jobs in order to justify the work they do, not knowing that there are jobs you should not be doing as a young person in Nigeria. Aside the fact that this job has no future, it is stressful, risky, and the pay is so ridiculous for someone should waste his or her time doing it. Because at the end of the day, you will only realize you've wasted your time, your energy, even your resources, and there will be nothing to write home about. People wake up to pick up jobs in order to survive, provide for their needs, and have something in hand they could call a job. Today, I will be sharing 5 jobs you should never do as a young person, even if it warrants you to sit in your house and think of something else. Don't engage in these jobs. Number 1, nursery school teachers. This is the kind of job you find most students who just pass out from school doing. They get this job because it's very easy to get. No matter your qualification or your results which you used in passing out, you will definitely get a school job where you teach students. But this job, the moment you start, you realize that the responsibility that they expect from you is beyond what you should be doing in compared to the pay. You wake up early in the morning, you go to school, you assemble these kids, you make your devotion, you take them to the class for teaching, you manage these kids, and you know managing of kids is not an easy task. You communicate with the parents, you do school curriculums, you do so many paperworks, running errands for your boss or senior teachers, and at the end of the month you will be paid 15 to 20,000 naira. Just a single task in all what you do. There are skilled professionals who will do just one task and they will earn reasonable amount of money. So you performing all these tasks in order to earn 20,000 naira a month? No, you should not do it. Number 2, fuel attendants. The fuel station is where you see young boys and girls under the age of 25 doing this attendance job. They sell fuel from morning till night. The stress involved is so much in compared to how much they earn. They are exposed to many dangers such as fire outrage, the robbery which are common in filling stations. The sad part of it is that they have losses selling this petrol to customers, which at the end of the month, they don't usually have the salary they should have due to shortage they had selling this fuel. Not only the fact that people look down on you working as a fuel attendant, you are restricted to many things like not using your cell phones all through, no promotion, no benefits, no allowances. They are open to danger, and most of these attendants are not trained in order to prevent these dangers. Number 3, factory workers. This is the job I call a slave job. If you have ever worked in a factory before, you realize the only advantage of being a factory worker is only if you are a staff in that company or you don't work within the machine. Even some staff find it very hard nowadays due to the way the whites who own this company treats their workers. You work very long hour of the day, maybe from 14 to 16 hours per day. The worker safety and wages is less important to the management. In most cases, if you are injured, you will be relieved your duty and be left alone to your family to treat you. You can be sanctioned in every little issue, no matter how hard you are working for these companies. You resume the job very early and you close late at night. That is not even the problem. The problem is it's a job that doesn't allow you to have a resting time within the period you work. You work straight up to 16 hours per day in order to have your wages. Most of these companies didn't even pay in salaries. They calculate your money pertaining to the hours you operate those machines. That is, if you don't work in some particular hour which they identify, that money will be deducted from your wages that will be paid to you at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Another sad part of this job is that you never get any opportunity to have a say. You can be sanctioned on any issue, no matter how hard and dedicated you've committed yourself doing this job. It never counts because you are just a factory worker. Number 4, POS operators. The POS business has once been a very lucrative business in Nigeria. The time it first came, people rushed into it and it was making cool money because people were not exposed to that business. The only few people who are exposed to that business tends to make some decent amount of money at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Many people who doesn't want to go to bank go to these people to have their money and they are making good amount of money. But as time goes on, people start seeing into this business because it is very easy to start. With little amount of money like 50,000 naira, you could actually go into the POS business. As people start going into this business, the level in which they see the profit starts depreciating. The higher the people in the business, the lower the profits they are making. The time they make the most outrageous amount of money was during the naira scarcity, when people were unable to withdraw their money from the bank. So almost all Nigerians go to the POS operator to withdraw their money. They make outrageous amount of money during this process, but immediately the banks opened, people start receiving their money directly from the bank. People who were into this business start reducing. They closed up because people stopped going to this business. What is the essence of this? What does that tell you? That the POS business has been lucrative for some time, but as it stands in today's world, only those who has no options are the one doing it, because people prefer to go to the bank rather than coming to the POS. If you want to do the POS business, maybe you just want to have it, but you depending yourself on it, trying to make a living out of it, it's not something that is worthwhile doing. Number 5, the tricycle business. The tricycle business has been a thriving business in Nigeria lately. You see grown-up people and young people running into this business, getting a tricycle in order to make the money they describe as daily money from it. To be very honest, the money they made out of this business is very cool. It's very hard for you to see such amount of money in any organization in Nigeria. But the reality that is hidden to many of you is that the tricycle business is not something you could rely on for a very long time. If you ever think of getting a tricycle for a business, you should think of having this business at hand in order to cure the present predicament, not something you actually want to rely your life on. Why? The tricycle is not an asset that lasts for a very long time. You can only enjoy a tricycle in the space of 6 months, maximum of 1 year. After this few time, you start spending most of your time in the mechanic workshop. The little savings you've had, you used it in fixing this machine. There is no doubt you make a very decent amount of money riding this tricycle every day, to compare to any business I have listed above. But the sad part of it is that this tricycle is not an asset that lasts for a very long time. It makes it look like it's something that you could hold for a very long time. But the honest truth is that when you dedicate your life, you end up having a broken heart. At the end of the day, you realize it won't bring out the money you really need
from it. What comes out of it at the end is that is either you sell this tricycle or you deal with the problem that is bringing up. Nobody wants a business that he or she can't rely on for a very long time. That's why it's important for you to look for certain business that could give you a long lasting reliance